The only time I buy bagels is when they're on sale, so it always ends up being a lot of bagels when we bring it home. There are many tips and tricks online that you can find about how to store and reheat bagels. In order to get the best experience each morning when we warm up our bagels, we've done a series of tests to figure out what's the best solution. So we've been eating bagels the whole week for your entertainment. All of the bagels were prepared by my wife and a blind taste tested by me. In this video, we're going to share what we found out. Bagel testing result 1. The toaster turns out to be the best equipment to reheat bagels compared to the oven and air frying. Our original plan was to test if warming up the whole bagel would be better than a split slice. Chef Kenji recommends the idea of toasting the whole bagel in this video, and yeah, he was right. However, at that time we ended up with one extra bagel slice remaining from the test, so we're thinking, why not test them together? So here we are. This one's very crunchy, very hard. This one's a little too soft, and this one's like just right. Turns out a normal bread toaster is better than the air fryer, which is kind of expected, I guess. It also takes a shorter amount of time because it doesn't require preheating. I think part of it's because it makes both sides of the bagel toasty and the inside is so soft. Bagel testing result 2. Leave your bagel in a paper bag on the countertop if it's only going to stay for a day or two. Previously, when we were comparing bagels, we were using fresh bagels. This test is to see what's the best method to store bagels when you leave them on the countertop for a couple days. We are comparing bagels that have been stored in a paper bag versus an airtight bag like a Ziploc bag, and test them 2 days after we bought them. On the internet, there are a lot of tips and tricks about these methods, so we tested. Both of the results are okay to eat, but they also taste slightly stale. They both lose freshness so quickly. The main difference is that the paper bag bagel becomes very dry. On day 2, it's already hard as a rock, so it became very crunchy when you toast it. The airtight bagel is still soft, but it has a stronger stale smell than the paper bag bagel, even after toasting it. If you really wanted it, you could eat it if you really wanted it to. Later on, we do another test if running water over the bagel will make any difference. We tried rinsing it under the tap water for 1 second and then toast it. This one's better.
Which one?
The one that looks like it's soaked in water. Since we only added a small amount of water, they rehydrate pretty well. It just evaporates during the toasting process, which fixes the crunchiness problem. The paper bag bagel definitely tastes less stale than the Ziploc bag bagel, and nearly as good as the fresh bagel. Bagel testing result number 3. Freezing is the best way to store the bagels long term. So we tested warming up frozen bagels with an oven, air fryer, and the toaster. All of them turned out great. Here's the detail of each way that we toasted. In the air fryer, we preheated to 345, no need to defrost, and we heated it for 5 minutes. In the oven, we preheated to 375, and we used the same process as the air fryer, just add the bagel and heat it up for 5 minutes. For the toaster, we first defrosted the bagel in a microwave for 30 seconds. It actually already smells pretty good, and then we tossed it in the toaster. In the end, we still decided to go with the toaster because it takes the least amount of time to cook. Even though we have a cheap toaster and some parts are kind of burnt, it still tastes really nice. Also, if you're curious about the spread, we tried out this method from the comment under Chef Kenji's video, and it turned out so good. Just chop a small section of scallion, add a pinch of salt, and mix, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. The salt emphasizes the scallion flavor, and you'll see some water come out of it. Lastly, add a tablespoon of cream cheese and mix it well. The spread tastes even better on the second day. Voila, that's how we buy bagels in bulk and enjoy them daily. To conclude, here are the best methods we found for storing and warming up bagels. For the fresh bagels, the toaster is the best way. Just toss it in, eat it, that's it. For 1 to 2 day old bagels, we like to store them in a paper bag and then add like a splash of water before toasting it. For 2 or more days, it's better to freeze it and then microwave for 30 seconds and then toast it. Thanks for watching, and we hope these testing methods will give you some ideas on better ways to enjoy your bagels and I'm sure bread products in the future. Make sure to like and subscribe and click the bell button to get our future recipes.